Hello, my name's Colette. I'm here with your weekly tarot card for the week beginning Monday, the 25th of October 2015. Now, the weekly tarot card this week is one of the major arcana and it gives it a big punch, a big force. It's called card 5, the Hierophant, or the High Priest as it's sometimes known. I tend to refer to it as the High Priest. Now, in the original tarot decks, it has a feeling of the Pope and religion, and it's got like a Pope-like figure surrounded by all the things that would mean religion, etc. So it kind of means religion, it's about society, it's about morality, it's how we fit in society and how we obey the rules or whether we don't obey the rules or whatever. And it kind of is quite a hard card for some people to read and also to actually work with. But if you bring it down to a practical level, it's not so bad, really. It really isn't. So in the week ahead, if you think you're going through your day-to-day stuff, and there's kind of going to be a bit of rigidity about how you're meant to approach the week ahead. Any tasks that need done will need done with authority and a sense of how it should be done. There'll be no cutting any corners. It'll be very much doing the best you can because you want to, because that's what's expected of you. So there's that aspect of following with the High Priest is meaning doing the best you can and living a life that actually has some constraints on it. So this card is a number 5 card, and if you don't have a sense of constraint and things, you sometimes get chaos, and that can be the other side of the High Priest. But for the week ahead, it's important that you realise that there are some rules, some regulations, and some things that we should do and things we shouldn't do in certain situations. Okay, Halloween's coming, and it might be appropriate to, go in and fancy dress, say on Friday or Saturday, to your work if you're maybe working in a restaurant or a nightclub or whatever. But you wouldn't really expect to see a zombie accident emergency doctor, would you? So it's just about working and doing things with the right place and the right sort of feel about them. And that's maybe the way to look at it. Think before you act this week. Think, does that fit in with the place I'm going? Does that fit in with the rules of the place I will be or around the people I'll be? And it's also about respecting other people's viewpoints, other people's opinions, and making sure that you express your own in a good way. And there's also the sense of morality and how to do things within a good practicing society. There's negative to the High Priest. A lot of people don't particularly like him because the negative side means that you can feel that there's too much dogma in your life, or there's too much of a sense of you will do this and waggy finger stuff. And a lot of free spirits don't really like that aspect. So this card can feel constraining. So if we look at it in various areas of your life, though, it'll give you a better idea of what to expect from it. So if we look at career first, the High Priest is very much about doing things properly, making sure that you have the knowledge of something before you actually would speak on it, or you would get caught out. You can't assume knowledge that you don't have this week, or you will be picked up on, or you could cause a mistake or a problem. So only work at the level of expertise that you have, and if you don't have it, don't go there. So it's important in career to work to your best capacity, but make sure that you know everything to do with the job. It's about educating yourself about what's needed, particularly in your workplace. And it's also really, yes, about respecting people that we see are above us, and kind of tone the line a wee bit this week. Okay, so in career, wee bit restricted, but show a wee bit of respect in certain situations. In health, it tends to be that this is the card that we need a consultant with rather than maybe treating something yourself. It always, when it comes out beside certain health cards, when I'm doing a reading, this one always sends the person to the doctor or to the consultant or to see someone who is an expert in their field, the person of knowledge, the person of wisdom. So if you've got something you're a wee bit worried about with health this week, go to the top, okay? Get seen to, make sure that you speak out as to what you feel, and make sure you're seen by the right expert this week, okay? Now, in love, it's very much about society and how we view love, and it guides us a wee bit. It's morality, really. It's like, well, you know, if it was in a relationship spread with negative cards, it could be warning the person to be a wee bit more moral, maybe they're being tempted by the devil card, etc. And it can put relationships a wee bit under stress. But again, it can help you deal with things in relationship, maybe take advice on any relationship problems, go to counselling and actually take the advice of someone that can help, and be moral. If you're tempted to do something that's not so good this week, don't do it. Chances are with the high priest out, you'll get caught anyway, and that's not so good. In wealth or money, it's actually quite a good card. It can say, you know, that seek advice from someone and then you'll get the right answers. So say you had a bit of debt or there was something that was worrying you, something about money, something that you should repay, even about your kind of hourly rate. Take it to someone who knows about these things and ask them, you know, whether that's your union representative, whether it's a debt counsellor. It doesn't really matter, but where money's concerned, the high priest is certainly about getting good advice on all levels. This card generally, I feel, brings attention to all the teachers out there this week, those of knowledge, teachers, lecturers, and also the clergy, of course. So if you work within any of those occupations, you could have to really do your job very, very, very to, you know, to your knowledge, and don't cut corners in any way because the spotlight will be on you. So it's not that it's a negative card in any way. It can guide us really, really well. You know, sometimes we'll have a, you know, a reading with someone and they've come to the clairvoyant, which is more the high priestess card. And really this comes out and they should be going to the high priest, which is maybe to take advice from a counsellor or their priest or their imam, whoever gives advice in a kind of religious or moral way that's more set in stone. That would be the person to go to. So the high priest, when it's in the right capacity, guides us very, very well. So this is the way to use it, rather in the negative. Oh, I'm not doing that. Who does he think he is? Does he know better than me? Well, yes, he probably does. So just listen this week and you'll be fine. So happy Halloween, happy Samhain, and I'll see you next week for your next weekly tarot card. Many blessings.